Hey guys, today we are reacting to the top 10 superhero gadgets, so let's do this thing.
It never really hurts to have a little extra something to even the odds.
What man? That was a
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 superhero gadgets.
I believe it's worth a go.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're paying tribute to the little gizmos that help the heroes get a leg up in the crime-fighting game. Number 10, the Flash's costume ring. Kicking off our list is a handy little device needed for when you need a quick costume change. In addition to being one of the fastest metahumans around, Barry Allen is also a brilliant scientist, with one of his most notable inventions being the Flash costume ring. His red ensemble can chemically shrink and be stored inside of his golden ring. And with a push of a button, the ring opens up and the suit springs out, ready for the Flash to gear up. Since it takes incredible speed to suit up in time, only lightning-fast metahumans can use this ring properly. But it also makes for a great engagement ring for anybody else. Number 9, the Omnitrix. Created by Azimuth, the Omnitrix, or Omnimatrix, could turn its wearer into any unique extraterrestrial life form it recognizes. All they have to do is turn the dial and press down. But that's not all. It can also scan new alien DNA and unlock never-before-seen transformations.
And check this out. The watch absorbed its DNA. Welcome to the club.
Ben Tennyson has proven himself worthy of this watch. However, in the early days, Ben couldn't always control what he turned into, and the transformations only lasted for a limited time.
I was worried that you might get popular with that thing on your wrist. That's why I asked you not to fool around with it until we know what the heck it is.
Number 8, Green Arrow and Hawkeye's trick arrows.
We're
fighting an army of robots.
And
And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
Like their name suggests, these arrows, invented by Hawkeye and Green Arrow themselves, are more than just projectiles. They have all kinds of surprising features that give our two archers a leg up in combat. There's an arrow for any occasion. There are arrows that detonate, arrows that double as grappling hooks, some that deliver nasty shocks, others that spray acid, even arrows that can hack into computers. Some of them may be a little bit more gimmicky than others, but you can't argue with the results. Any regular marksman can shoot a bow and arrow, but it takes a special kind of person to design and master arrows that can do so much more. Number 7, Cyclops' visor. With his deadly optic blasting powers, Cyclops is one mutant you do not want to go head-to-head with. Since he can't really open his eyes without releasing uncontrollable discharge, Cyclops wears a special visor lined with a ruby quartz lens that allows him to see without hurting anyone. The visor features an adjustable slit that Cyclops can use to control the force of his firepower and aim properly, making him an ace sharpshooter. When he's off duty, he dons sunglasses with the same ruby quartz lenses. You just better hope he never loses those or something.
Scott, no! Scott!
Number 6, Falcon's Red Wing.
Payload secure. Thanks, Sam.
Don't thank me.
I'm not thinking that thing.
His name is Red Wing.
Red
Cute, but better.
In the comics,
And
Falcon had a red
Red
Falcon
Wing.
sidekick
Red
named
Wing's
Redwing,
pretty
with whom he shared a telepathic connection. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Falcon's little buddy is a little more high-tech, a remote-controlled drone stored in his flight pack. Falcon can control the drone's flight using the touchscreen on one of his bracers, and the little guy has a built-in scanner that can transmit data directly into Falcon's goggles, acting as his eyes and ears from the skies above. Red Wing is also armed at the wings with firepower and can be used as a projectile itself, not to mention a useful grapple for dealing with pests.
Guys, look, I'd love to keep this up, but I've only got one job here today, and I gotta impress Mr. Stark, so I'm really sorry.
What?
You couldn't have done that earlier?
I hate you.
Number 5, the Rocketeer's Cyrus X3 Rocket Pack.
How do I look?
Like a hood ornament.
Stunt pilot Cliff Secord finds a little surprise in one of his planes, a jetpack that was stolen and accidentally left behind by two gangsters. Rather than turning it into the police, it's finders keepers for Secord. The pack is controlled by twin hand grips and can fly up to 200 miles per hour without overheating. Of course, as with every ingenious device, there are a few drawbacks. It needs fins and Secord's helmet rudder to help steer, and its capability of staying in the air is somewhat unpredictable. Plus, Secord wasn't always the best at landing. However, once he gets it under control, Secor just may be the hero that our country needs.
I like it.
Number 4, Iron Man's Gauntlet. Though the Iron Man suits are the creme de la creme of Tony Stark's inventions, he can't always have them with him, at least not in full. Fortunately, he always has a contingency plan, namely the Iron Gauntlet. Cleverly hidden in his watch, it folds out into a glove-like device. While it's obviously not as heavy on the firepower, it does come equipped with flash beams and ultrasonic pulses for disorienting his foes. And if said foe is armed, luckily the gauntlet is bulletproof. Number 3, Pym particles.
You're gonna have to take this into the shop.
Who's speaking?
It's your conscience. We don't talk a lot these days.
These subatomic particles have the power to change the size of anything they come into contact with. Hank Pym discovered these little beauties and found a way to use them to his advantage. He created the Ant-Man suit, which could alter its wearer's size at the push of a button, plus a few handy throwing discs that shrink or grow anything they're tossed at. When the suit shrinks, its user gains enhanced strength and extra durability, and when they grow, they basically become giant battle tanks. Beware though, overusing the particles could lead to mental or physical strains. And if you shrink too much, you might end up in a subatomic universe, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever.
She turned off her regulator and went subatomic to deactivate the bomb. And she was gone.
Number 2, Batman's Grappler, aka the Batclaw.
That is why I built the grappling gun.
Batman's utility belt holds any and all of Batman's handy weapons and gizmos, including his trusty batarangs. One particular gadget is always helpful when he's in a tight spot though, the Grappler. Whenever Batman needs a quick getaway, or a way of reaching higher ground, he can whip out the Grappler and just zip up to the vantage point he needs. While it started out as just a regular grappling hook, in the modern age, Bats has converted it into a motorized grappling gun for easy and fast getaways, which is also conveniently handy for disabling enemies. Number 1, Spider-Man's Web Shooters.
When that spider bit you, did it give you power to make webs too?
No, I did that myself. I make web fluid and store it in small pressurized containers that load into these web shooters I built.
Wow!
While the spider bite gave Peter Parker superhuman abilities, he still lacked a spider's greatest tool, the web. Fortunately, he fashioned together 2 wrist-mounted spinneret devices and an artificial web fluid that lets him spin a web of any size. The webbing is kept in cartridges that are loaded into the shooters, and Spidey uses a palm trigger to shoot the sticky weapon. It's stronger than steel and makes an excellent grappler for web slinging, while also being flexible enough to double as a net. Some alternate universes show Spidey using organic webbing, but the web shooters highlight Peter's mechanical and scientific expertise, flawlessly inventing the gadgets that put the spider back in Spider-Man.
You know what I think is really cool? This webbing. The tensile strength is off the charts. Who manufactured that?
I did.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
So bye guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, play notifications, and smash that like button. Bye guys.